Welcome everybody to a look at the fourth and final film from the Warner Brothers Archive collection for January. So today we're taking a look at 1953's Escape from Fort Bravo. So this is directed by John Sturges, who also did the likes of Bad Day at Black Rock and The Magnificent Seven. Those two are my favourites from him. And this is my 14th film from him overall. So seen plenty of his efforts. And yeah, this is a Western romance clocking in at 99 minutes long. Stars the likes of William Holden. Now this is my 15th film from him, so I've seen plenty of his his well-known efforts. But my favourites would be the likes of Sunset Boulevard, The Towering Inferno, and The Wild Bunch. It also stars Eleanor Parker, who was in the likes of Detective Story and Eye of the Cat. And finally, John Forsythe, who was in the likes of Scrooged and The Trouble with Harry. So, yeah, this is about a Southern belle who frees a rebel officer and his men from a Union captain's Arizona fort. So, yeah, although this is not quite a film that is just about what I just mentioned then in terms of the premise, we have a love triangle in between our three leads. There's also some Native Americans that they have to be wary of when escaping from the fort itself, which is obviously a dangerous thing to be doing in and of itself, given the harsh environments that the fort is placed in. But obviously, then you have to deal with any attackers that you have to be wary of. So yeah, it's got three elements really to it, and they all mostly work well together. And overall, this is a solid, albeit unremarkable mix of its genres that is buoyed by its really rather good cast, solid pacing, excellent locales, and rousing score. The action is also decent, although it's nowhere near as good as some westerns from this period. There are some well executed character interactions, a few effective bits of tension. It is reasonably engrossing, and the cinematography is on point. But yeah, it's by no means the best western from the 50s. You look at likes of High Noon, that is something that is well elevated above something like this, which is good. It's certainly engrossing, but it could be so much more, and yet it just feels to settle for what is passable rather than trying to rock the boat in terms of the genre or anything like that. Now, unfortunately, there are no extras on this disc, unlike the previous three from Warner Brothers. So, yeah, which is a little bit of a shame. I'm sure John Sturges or whoever else was involved with this in terms of the crew could have provided some insight into the film, but that is yeah, a little bit of a shame, really, to be honest. So yeah, but this is actually shot on location in Death Valley, which itself is worthy of note given the extreme harsh conditions that you can get over there. They've had record highs even in the winter months of 32 Celsius. So yeah, regardless of when they actually shot this, yeah, it wouldn't have been an easy shoot by any means. But yeah, overall, I'd say it's my second least favorite of the four that have been released. I give it 3.5 out of 5, which is half a star ahead of Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, which is a decent enough B-movie sci-fi horror kind of film, but doesn't quite go far enough with its premise. But yeah, Escape from Fort Bravo is comfortably behind Adventures of Don Juan, which I gave 4 out of 5. And all three of them are far behind the likes of Fury, which I gave 4.5 out of 5, which is, yeah, definitely my favourite of the films released by Warner Bros. Archive Collection for January, and it's easily one of my favourites that they've released overall. I think only the likes of Prince of the City would come ahead of Fury. So, yeah, an absolutely superb film. Really highly recommend watching Fury. But I do recommend watching at least the other three at least once, even if you're not going to buy them. At least try and watch them at least once to see what you can get out of them. But yeah, it's definitely Fury that gets my recommendation for the Warner Brothers Archive Collection for January. Now, whether or not they're going to release any other films in February or March or anything in the next couple of months, I'll have to see. I'd be surprised if they did release anything in February, given they released 4 in 1 month. But they've still done a really bang up job, even if the physical aspects to them aren't great. And obviously, Escape from Fort Bravo didn't have any extras. You have done a really rather good job in providing a varied amount of films in the space of only a single month, because we've got B-movie sci-fi horror, we've got a swashbuckling adventure film, we've got a crime film, and then we've got a western romance as well. So yeah, nice varied amount of films, all done in different kind of ways in terms of their execution, and yeah, all, like I said, at least worth at least one watch. So yeah, but nonetheless, if you've seen Escape from Fort Bravo before, then I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.